What's going on, CJ? How you doing?
Good, bro. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm just living life right now.
Another day, another
Yeah,
day
another
to talk
day,
about
another
hoops.
dollar, man.
Know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't love that. But again, like he looked hurt, kind of. He hasn't been doing the best this year, but I just
Yeah, it's kind of like we talked about, bro. I feel like anything less than what he's done.
I think he
already.
was trying to duck the torture chamber.
Oh,
I
that-
clipped that, bro.
Hey, bro.
I think he didn't want
A
to
lot
face
of
Lou
people
Dort.
are.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I just, especially Luka, because I don't think he would have had a good game, and I don't even think. I think now, bro. Also, too, this isn't just him. I'm straight. Yeah. This isn't just him. I think cats be stat chasing now. Like they don't even want to go out there if it's gonna hurt their stats.
Yeah.
So like if Luka is gonna get 20, he's like, I don't even want to do that to my averages, like type shit. Like people be thinking like that. But I don't know if Luka's thinking. I don't think Luka is, but I know people are.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm not going out there just because I don't want to hurt my percentages. It's like, okay, bro. Like I get that. I do, but it's like the Embiid stuff and obviously the Cavs. The Cavs play the Celtics tomorrow, so hopefully they lose. I think it's a scheduled loss, but I think the NBA will make sure that, you know.
Dude, they're 15-0, bro.
Yeah, they've won a ton of games. In fact, if they win like 20 straight games, that's already quarter of the season, so they could lose. They have all those games to lose, really, or at the end if they
It's a
want.
lot of games, bro.
Yeah, it is a lot.
15-0, bro. Actually,
Yeah, it's like a revelation that the Cavs are good without Braun for real. Like they're real good. Fucking Darius Garland's crazy. Yeah, Sacramento. I have a tweet. Bro, I tweeted something out. It was about Sabonis and Fox and how they were gonna be like Hall of Famers. I think people kind of sleep on that because they putting up the stats, bro. And Sabonis, I think, was it last season? He had like some like a Wilt stat or something crazy. Like he beat Wilt in some stat. I think it was like what was it? It was like points rebound. It was something crazy.
Shit. This season he had a perfect game.
Yeah, perfect.
Like he had no
perfect
triple double. He had no turnovers.
Yeah,
He
bro.
had-
Those boys are crazy. That could be the intro, but
Yeah.
yeah. Shout out Sabonis and Fox for sure.
Shout out Sacktown, brother.
Yeah.
Light the beam.
We busy, 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 we busy. That bitch so pretty, got a mean girl just like Lindsay. Said she fucking with me, making drives across the city. Swear this shit can get too litty. Pushing be like Diddy, you ain't B-boy, who you kidding? At the top, I see you there. In LA, I see you there. At in space, I see you there. Texas State, I see you there. I know y'all go crazy, y'all be turning up in the square. Take another pill and we get turned up just by anywhere. Hit you in and say yeah, just to see if there's a feelings there.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boys over here at 3-Man Weave. I'm your co-host CJ, here with the one and only
Yes,
Z.
sirski. What's going on?
And
Tapping in.
Y'all know why we're here, man. Well, this
Yeah.
one's in person.
Yeah.
We've been doing little Discord ones lately, just to. And ZD and I have been talking about. We're definitely gonna start recording twice
Some
a
more,
week.
yeah.
More than likely, just because there's things that
There's
happen.
a lot of stuff to talk about.
Dude, so especially this past week.
Yeah, bro. But just the NBA is crazy in general, man. You don't know who's gonna score 50 or whatever.
Exactly.
You never
So,
know.
we definitely are going to start getting a little more content out for y'all more frequently. But,
For sure.
this is another episode. I think this is episode four.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
We're rolling through, man.
Yeah, second one in person.
Yeah,
so
bro.
Like I said, it's always good, being
Nah,
able
there's
to
gonna be
chop
some
it up.
episodes in person, man.
Yeah,
for
we just
sure.
got to.
sure.
But yeah, no, I guess just kind of like going straight into it, bro. NBA Cup has been going on. I kind of wanted to see
Oh,
what are your
man.
thoughts about
Initial
that.
thoughts?
Initial thoughts.
Let's see the games that I watched. I watched the Celtics game. The Miami game was
Pistons.
crazy. Yeah, the Pistons Miami
that boy
game. That
Tyler
game
Herro
was
dropped like
crazy,
40.
bro. Yeah, that's the one I was watching pretty closely. And then the other one, of course, I gotta watch my Lakers. Of
course.
Lakers Spurs.
Right.
That was like another main. I'll talk about.
yeah,
that
what'd you
one,
think about that
honestly.
one? Yeah.
Bro, I honestly, I love the way Wemby's playing right now. I think a couple weeks ago he wasn't doing too hot, but I do think now he's kind of figured out, where he can get in, wherever he fit in. If that's Jay in a 3-ball, cool. If that's going down low, cool. I know people want to see him shoot more free throws, but I think he looked great in that game. But man, Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves, man, I don't know what to say. I don't think we would be 9-4 without them, especially in that game. Austin Reeves and Dalton Connect, they really, again, they're helping us be able to shoot the 3-ball, because that's one thing that the Lakers have not been good at. I mean, obviously for the last 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
We just haven't had the shooters around LeBron and AD to really, cover up some of their deficiencies as they age. But now, we got some shooters for sure, man. Like we got some shooters. Like I would say AR, Dalton Connect, sometimes Gabe Vincent, obviously. They can knock down some threes, but overall, man, what I saw AD being aggressive. Once again, he's playing like an MVP candidate. I love the battle against Wembanyama. He's not afraid to take on the challenge and, try to guard him at the perimeter. I think a lot of big men are scared to try to go out there and guard Wemby, obviously, because he can blow right past you, but he can also shoot the three. AD kind of just showed me in that game, honestly, that he's not messing around. I think I tweeted something. It was like, oh, I'm never questioning AD's effort again. I know you saw that one.
I did see that.
Yeah, bro, just a great overall game. Also another, well-coached game by JJ. And I mean, this ain't a Lakers guy, but Stephon Castle, man.
Dog.
Bro, I mean, the Spurs don't really miss on their draft picks, to be honest. The last few, Malachi Branham, Vassell, Castle, obviously Wemby, like those guys that's a core. Keldon John, like that's a core, bro. Like people might be sleep on the Spurs, but bro, like they're building something over there. So Stephon Castle was another takeaway that, I saw he put up like 20 against us. I'm like, bro, this dude is cooking us, man.
Yeah.
Like no regard. So yeah, man, those are my like main takeaways, But obviously I'm glad we got the dub. That's what matters at the end of the day. And partly why the NBA Cup is so cool. If you guys don't know, they do it a little differently. Obviously, I'm sure CJ would have talked about it, but I'll get into it. They do like point differential, and it's kind of like points for. So the goal is to score the most points as possible and to win by the most points as possible. Like that's the goal of these NBA Cup games before it gets into single elimination. So every team is going to have their starters out pretty much until the end of the game. It doesn't really matter what the score is, just because it matters, with the point differential. Obviously, you want to score as many points as possible. So that's kind of like the one, added tidbit you could say that the NBA Cup kind of brings differently. And then obviously the courts and shit, like the crazy designs
Courts
and stuff
and
like
jerseys
that.
and stuff.
Yeah, bro. But that was the main game I was watching, bro.
I got you.
Who did the Thunder play?
So we played Phoenix.
Okay.
And we played on...
Y'all won that game,
Yeah,
right?
we won.
Yeah.
It was 99-83. It was the 15th. So we played a little later. But,
yeah, like a
yeah,
day after.
Yeah, it was shit. Just going back to NBA Cup as a whole, I just love that after because it was on Tuesday. That's when they played, and for everyone that doesn't know, that's when we shoot PCT. So the boys were over, and we were watching the games and stuff. And after like every like interview, like post game interview, a lot of whoever was the winning team or whatever they were interviewing, they always said, man, this felt like a playoff atmosphere.
Yeah,
and I love that because
finally, right?
I brought it up last time, and I'm gonna bring it up again. A lot of people say they don't like to watch these beginning of the season because they're not playing for anything. But the fact that these players are like, oh no, this is a playoff.
Yeah,
atmosphere.
they actually care
they
about
care,
it. Right.
So I love that because that was the whole thing, especially when you introduce a new type of tournament or type of thing with a sport that has been going on for so long.
Years,
it's kind
right.
of like
Decades,
what's it going to do? How's it going to improve? Like, what are the things how are the players going to react?
Like, what's it bringing to the game?
Exactly. And I think people care. And you could just tell, like you said, like a lot of those games on the first night were like OT games.
Yeah,
or at
bro.
least coming
Highly
down
competitive.
to the wire. And like, dude, I love it. Especially just, I just love watching good hoops at the end of the day. Of course, I'm a Thunder fan and I'm going to watch them probably more than anyone, but like just kind of like flipping through the channels like, oh man, this game it's like a 5-point game with like 2 minutes left.
It doesn't matter what team it is. There's so much parity.
Right. So yeah, that was kind of my takeaway with it. Just I love it. I love the courts. The courts look really dope. I love the Thunder's court. It looks, it does look a little too much with certain teams and stuff, but I don't know. I love it. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you too. I was actually talking to my boy Race about this today, but he kind of asked me, "Yo, who do you think is gonna win the NBA Cup?" He said, "Give me East and West."
Okay.
We settled on the Grizzlies, and then he brought this up, but the Knicks is a good sleeper team.
That
What do you
is.
think, man?
I think so because
You like those two teams? I was
yeah.
gonna say I love the Grizzlies too. Like
yeah.
they seem like a team that would play for this.
Yeah. It's just like we were saying, like those young teams that have a little more to prove to people.
For
like,
sure.
Hey, like we may not have won a chip, but we won
Yeah.
a cup. Like
Yeah,
this year,
exactly.
You know? And I feel like it's shout out to Adam Silver. He's taking a lot from other leagues in the world that are successful, which I feel like NBA Cup took a lot from like soccer, and like the just like tournaments throughout the
For
like
sure.
Champions League-esque, like putting teams in a group and point differential and everything.
Yeah,
so
bro.
it's super cool. Like
Kinda like that
just-
soccer style,
Right,
Like, that
yeah.
knockout round.
and like these are teams
Champions League.
Champions League type vibe.
Shout out Los.
Yeah, but no, yeah, bro, I love it. Those
me too.
first week of games are super dope, and just the league in general, man. It's in such a, I think it's in a good spot,
Bro.
Like just like you said, you don't know who's gonna drop 50.
Yeah, man.
You don't know if
And even the rookie class, bro. Like they're a lot colder than it was expected. I'm sure we'll get into that a little later, but that's also adding to the fire. I feel like is we got some guys who can play immediately. So and we're seeing that obviously in the NBA Cup. These guys are getting an opportunity. Like CJ brought up a couple minutes ago, just the younger teams. I think also the younger guys on those teams are getting a lot more run in those games. Just because obviously they're trying to see which matchup is better, kind of feel out, this team, whatever. Like, they're seeing how the game goes. Let's say they scored 140. They might try to go for 160.
Right.
So you never know, man. It kind of like the atmosphere is always changing. And I feel like that's why people kind of like the atmosphere of it all. Is it reminds you of a playoff scenario. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. Every twist and turn. You never know who's going off. So, yeah, bro, I'm with you, man. I like the NBA Cup. I think it's perfect.
super dope, bro.
Yeah, for real. It's been. I was gonna say it's been better than last year already. I can kind of feel it. Like I think last year was the test run. Like people didn't really know what was gonna happen, but now I feel like players are used to like the format. They understand the rules. There's no questions. Like they all going for it. So of course there's a prize. You get that cup. You get a little banner, and then you get the cash.
You get the cash. Yeah. So let me ask you this then, as just a person that loves hoops. Does this hold like credibility? Like if you win the NBA Cup, is this something that like you could hold your head high and be like, oh, we might not have, let's just say drastically, we didn't make the playoffs, but we won the cup.
Well, let me ask you guys this, like not you, but you guys like to compete? Because if so, yeah, like you competing for it. Mm-hmm. I'm a competitor. CJ's a competitor. Like if I win that's gonna matter to me. I think it's not a championship, but I still, I still beat. We still beat our group. Plus, we got through the knockout stages and we won something. That I think in the NBA, it is a lot about respect and kind of like what you're doing on the court and how you carry yourself and everything like that. I know y'all saw the Giannis thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. That kind of, that rubs people the wrong way. And a thing like this, you go out and you win the NBA Cup. Like, again, like last year, let's take the Lakers, for example, right? That's the first ever one. Like, you don't think people going to remember that 10 years down the line? The NBA Cup's still here. Like, they're going to be like, damn, like the Lakers really got that first one. Like, we were competing. And I would even say, like, the games in Vegas last year, if you guys got an opportunity to watch, I think the Tyrese Halliburton thing kind of really versus the Bucks, and obviously the Pelicans played the Lakers and they ended up losing. But point is like superstars can be born in atmospheres like that too. You know what I'm saying? So that's 100%. Another good, little add-on that don't have anything to do with like, the actual like cup format or whatever. It's just like things can happen that weren't originally going to happen just because of the format. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro. I mean, I think it's been great, bro. It's been great. There's not really much to say. You guys just got to catch a game, man.
Yeah, no, I'd recommend watching it.
For sure.
If y'all don't watch hoops or, you kind of watch us to kind of understand what's going on. But, bro, like, watch those games for sure. Honestly, watch all games, I would say. That's just me being a hoops fan. But
yeah, if you can, get the 2K with the league pass. So, get the locker code if you can.
But, no, yeah, I would recommend that. It's probably been, like I said, the closest thing we'll get to playoff atmosphere until then. So
in November. So.
Yeah. So but yeah, I guess
chopping it in. Yeah, bro. What I was gonna bring up, this is a great question that I had for you, kind of going off the in-season tournament format. So I think you sent it actually. There was an ESPN article. If you guys don't know, last couple years, the All-Star game. just hasn't been like what people
What
people
want it to be,
want.
yeah.
And I would even argue, bro, for maybe for you too. I was gonna ask you this before we get into it. What do you think about the current All-Star format and how it is right now? And like, would you argue over the last 5 years, like there has been some good All-Star games, man? Like I remember Tatum had 50. Like there's been a couple good games where I'm like, nah, this game is good. Like in my opinion, in my like Cooper opinion, like maybe not the most competitive, but guys are going out there, guarding one-on-one, whatever they can, whatever the case may be. But I was gonna ask you, man, what do you think about the current All-Star format and your thoughts about them changing?
I feel like the competitive games that we have had within the last probably 5 years were those games when we had the captains and we were going up to a certain score. I feel like because, of course, you can kind of like, all right, we need to stop them now, but so they don't get up to the points. So, like, a certain limit, you know?
Yeah.
Last year,
I like the 24 with the Kobe.
Yeah, that was super dope.
That was tough.
I do like West and East though.
Okay.
Preferably. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Me too.
It's dope seeing Giannis playing with Curry or vice versa, whatever. East and players playing with West.
Yeah, I liked that. I'm not gonna lie, I liked the
That's
mixture
cool,
too.
but I don't know. I like the
keeping it with your
classic,
conference, right?
Like just keeping it because like let's see who's the better conference.
Yeah,
you know, 'cause
exactly.
we always have this discourse. Oh, East is weak. West is
I
always
mean,
stronger.
the East is.
But they are. But like,
Not the players.
I
yeah.
feel like the All-Star teams.
Yeah, the All-Star teams are
usually good.
They're
so it's
even.
like, I don't know.
you're right.
It's I like it. I like the conferences. I think we should limit it to a certain score, whatever that may be. I don't know what it could be. Obviously, every team is damn near scoring 110, 120. So you would have to probably do it pretty high. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it always can be tweaked, you know what I mean? And like, who are we to say like it's not like a perfect formula or do this, do that? But as a fan, I do enjoy just competitive basketball with the best players in the world, in the league at least, you know? So it's like, how are we going to make sure that they compete when they come out without it making it seem like it's just, of course, because you know that it is a whole weekend and they get the week off or whatever, and they get that break. But at the same time, you're also wanting to showcase, the
like
talent
show out,
right?
Yeah.
So
So one of the segments later that I had down, it'll probably take up a chunk of time, but it's gonna do like the way too early kind of who you think is gonna be the DPOY, MVP, yada yada yada. But I was gonna get into that. The reason I bring this up is just because I think some guys truly, like you're saying, like because the All-Star game supposedly hasn't been super competitive, whatever the case may be, they're not even looking forward to it anymore as like let me try to get to the All-Star break where, I'm going to be able to get in this game, whatever. They're more looking at it as like a break from the season so they can kind of gear up for the end of the year where they're trying to get those awards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And kind of to your point, I think the added competitiveness, like I just remember when R.I.P. Mamba, obviously, but when he passed, the year after, that All-Star game is very memorable to me because I remember like everybody was going for it, and like you were saying, like it didn't really.
Was that the one in Toronto, or was that one with Drake's like in the picture of like?
No. That was
talking about the year after Kobe.
It was the year after Kobe passed. I think that without the Toronto year was the year they were guarding each other.
Yes, okay,
Kobe,
that's what I was
Kobe
thinking.
And Bron.
Right.
But yeah, after he passed, they did the 24 thing to honor him, obviously, and obviously all the players on the court gonna want to honor Kobe,
of course.
But where I'm going with this, honestly, is just I feel like it would be beneficial for the NBA to shake things up. We might even be able to like put the link to the article so you guys can read it if you want. It kind of it'll take like 8 minutes of your time, not too long, but basically I just think that like some of the fans don't think it's been competitive, but again, like as a true hooper, I've seen like, okay, these guys are, they going for it. But I do think the NBA is going to benefit from shaking things up and kind of what their plan was. And I'll get into it if you guys don't want to read the article. They were just planning to do like a tournament style format. So not like the in-season cup, but have it to where there was like, I think like 5 or 6 teams, I want to say.
Yeah.
And they all had a captain. And then you're picking from the pool of all-stars to kind of make I think it's like 5 each.
5, yeah.
It's like 5 each, 2 on the bench, 3 on 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, But that, I feel like that could be very cool, especially
Right.
the first one, because you're
Right.
gonna want to win that, and that's
Right.
going back to the competitor thing. As a competitor, any first thing you put up there, like guys are gonna want to win that, and
Yeah.
they're gonna want to draft the best team, and they're gonna draft according to like what they need. So like if Curry's a captain, he might take Giannis because he need a big or
Right.
whoever. Like he's not gonna take a bunch of guards
guard,
because.
yeah.
That's not what he's a guard, right?
Right,
So they're
right.
gonna have to kind of think about it strategically and
Right.
actually play basketball instead of just, oh, let me pick Jokic because he's my dog. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say the one thing I did like about this past All Star was the Rising Stars challenge. Do you remember how they did that?
Like how they did it.
it was like
I think that's what they were using, like
As
that,
a
yeah.
model?
I think they were gonna add the 6th team as the Rising Star. It's
Yeah.
like the winner of the competition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like what was it? It was like 5 players on a team,
Yes,
and it was
bro.
like a tournament essentially.
Style.
Yeah, I like that.
Matherin was cooking people, bro.
He was. That's when
Oh gosh,
he had to. He was. in
Yeah,
his
he
home,
was cooking
yeah,
people.
he was
I
in his
remember
home-
that.
In the
I was like, damn, bro, Matherin's cooking, and that was when Matas Buzeli's like they had the G League,
Yeah,
they had
G
the
League,
Ignite,
yeah,
too. Dude,
Ignite.
that was sick. Honestly, that was cool.
no, it was super cool
That
because
was dope.
it was
bro.
super.
I forgot about that.
Right. It was.
Damn.
And I think that was kind of like you said their model.
People
that they-
sleep on that.
Yeah, it was super fire, bro.
Like, I forgot about that. That's how you know people.
What
sleep
were
on
they
that.
going to like 11?
They were going to 11.
Okay.
Yeah, but like it wasn't twos and it was ones and twos.
Right.
So like even if you hit a 3 ball, it was like just
Yeah. And I feel like it, like you said, it just made it more competitive than
Right.
what we've probably seen in the past. Because
Yeah, no, like, I remember that.
It's just a game.
like
you know?
Chet was getting to it. Paolo.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I do like you were saying about the East and West. I like the conferences. I also like whenever they wear their own jerseys.
That's hard.
Because I think like maybe they can be a style like an all-star. I forget where it is this year. So help me God. Where is the
Let me
all-star
check.
game?
I want to say
Charlotte.
Maybe. Let me see.
Let's hopefully get this right. Let's see if we're like on one.
2025.
Let's see it, because if it's in Charlotte, I mean,
San Francisco. So
cool.
Chase Center.
Okay, cool. So it's gonna be Warriors.
Yeah.
Okay, that's dope too. So yeah, that kind of matters as well. Like they like to give the home court some guys, obviously that are like in Curry will
Curry's
be one
gonna
most
be in
likely.
there,
Yeah. But I was actually gonna talk to you about Curry. Last year, I think the main hit was the 3-point contest, kind of what
Correct.
Los was talking about in the group chat.
Yeah.
I think they shouldn't do Sabrina versus Curry again, but I think it would be dope to have the WNBA players come up
Yeah.
and like shoot.
Yeah.
Like I don't see why we couldn't get
Why
Caitlin
not?
Clark in there. And
Yeah.
Like why not, bro? Like that's perfect. They might even beat a man.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like literally. So I would love to see that as well. I think that would mix up the 3-point contest because I know that kind of gets boring, and it also gets boring if you've already done it. Like Dame's won it, right? Curry's won it. Clay's won it. Like they're not gonna try to go back and win 3-4 3-point contests. Like it's kind of
Right.
like a one and done thing, maybe twice. I think
Yeah.
Larry Bird has the record with 4. Dude, which is a lot.
That's
like
a
think
lot.
about that. That's a lot. Like
Yeah.
he was out shooting a lot of
a
people.
lot of people.
But to my point, kind of just reeling it all back in is I think the All-Star game in general kind of needs a shake up. But yeah, like going back to the conferences, letting them wear their jerseys. Maybe the tournament style will be kind of what it needs, like in terms of the game. But yeah, I'll have to put the link in the description because it's an interesting article if you guys want to read it. But it was like it never dawned on me that the fact that like the NBA was like kind of obviously listening to their fans, right? Because they're a multi-billion-dollar company, like, and they need the All-Star game to be one of the most watched events of the year for them. So it's interesting to kind of see the reaction, obviously, as like people post on social media, like, "Oh, this sucks," or "Oh, whatever." Because I'm assuming if people weren't doing that, they wouldn't change it.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Like even if it sucked, but people weren't saying that like verbally and like on Twitter and on social media, they probably wouldn't even have looked into changing it. So
Yeah. Which I feel like that's like you said, it's super dope as a multi-billion
Yeah,
dollar
exactly,
company
as
that
a company.
they care like kind of
yeah,
what
bro,
the fans
like they care
are
about
wanting.
their fans. Exactly. But yeah, man. Shay, man, you want to get into our next? I was gonna have you get on ESPN for me real quick, bro. And
I got you. Yeah.
we're gonna go through some of these candidates, bro. But I was gonna start it off with I was gonna ask you, man, who are you feeling for Sixth Man of the Year? This one's kind of tough, because I was gonna get into it. We're doing some way too early award predictions. I think we did Rookie of the Year last time, but even that's kind of shaken up a lot. But we're gonna skip that one, and we're kind of gonna do the main ones because that's what we didn't get to last time, and I'm sure you guys kind of want to hear who's been hooping. Obviously the DPOY, bro, I really want to talk about too, because that's interesting. They still got Wemby as the favorite, and the Spurs are not a good defensive team.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. But
Where do you want me to go?
go to the stats. I want you to pull up 3-pointers made.
Okay, I got you.
Because I'll start it off so I can give you a little reference. Maybe you might agree with me.
Right.
But yeah, sixth man of the year. Obviously, if you guys don't know what that is, it's the award given to the best man off the bench. So every year the NBA does these superlatives. Obviously, if you're not a starter, they still want to, of course, recognize somebody who's not necessarily in the starting lineup or getting all the love, and that's the sixth man of the year. I want to say, this is kind of an award that I want to say, I think Jamal Crawford is the main one who kind of made it like a thing, him and Manu.
Yeah.
And now, I feel like people want to go for this award. It's an important award. But anyways, I'll start it off, man. In my opinion, my humble opinion, I had in my notes, my current sixth man of the year for this season is it's Buddy Hield. Yeah, Buddy Hield, man. So, I'm sure you can see right now he's second behind. Of course, we'll talk about him later. But Buddy Hield, what else can you say, man? If you guys don't watch Warriors basketball, you need to. It's really crazy how they've just completely, I don't know the situation with Klay. He seems a lot happier in Dallas.
Yeah.
That's probably something we'll talk about in another show.
We'll
talk about that. But he seems a lot happier there, which is chill. But I think the Warriors are even happier with Hield's contract and what he's giving them from a player standpoint. Obviously, he's on a cheaper contract, and he's basically doing more than what Klay was doing the last couple of years there. If you guys don't know this about Buddy Hield, he's also the person who has the most three-pointers made over the last 5 years, even more than Curry. Think about that. He has more threes made than Curry, but he just doesn't play for the Warriors, so you guys probably weren't seeing it. But yeah. Buddy Hield's a killer. So in my opinion right now, I just feel like, obviously, the Warriors are first in the West too.
Yeah.
Since the Thunder lost yesterday,
Yeah,
so
sadly
they're winning games. He's honestly a big reason why they're winning games. I feel like if they didn't have him, again, Curry and Durant, that's not a good enough team. You still need another offensive weapon, and he's really been that hub for them. He's not the best on defense, but again, this is kind of an offensive award. Sixth man of the year typically goes to players that score in bunches, right? They're not really looking at your peripheral stats as much. They're kind of looking at your points and threes made and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's who I'm going with. He's been the catalyst to why the Warriors are doing so well this year, and in my opinion, I feel like he's going to sustain it enough to be able to win. But yeah, man, I'm going with Buddy Hield.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think who I want to win and who I think is going to win are kind of different. I would want Trey Mann to win personally. OKC.
Did he get hurt?
No, I just don't think he's been playing as well as he has been, which is kind of
first couple weeks.
Yeah.
Scouting report.
Right. Just kind of, I think people are kind of understanding how he plays.
Yeah,
he's on the, they're looking him up.
It's
now.
on the scouting report.
Right.
Yeah, bro, because he's a bucket.
But
he needs to be.
I think probably Peyton Pritchard, bro. Just
really?
Just the way he's been playing. And
I don't know if they gonna give it to Peyton.
You don't think so? You think it's just because that team's loaded or what?
No, I just don't know. I don't know. I feel like the Celtics are just going to run into a little hump in the season where, they're just going to be playing their starters a little more. I feel like Peyton Pritchard's very reliant on a blowout.
Yeah.
He's usually not playing. Buddy Hield's mainly in the, regardless. But I feel like Peyton Pritchard kind of gets more or less minutes depending on the situation the Celtics are in.
Right.
But saying that, I think this season, out of all the seasons we've seen Peyton Pritchard play, I think Mazzulla's running. I think he's going to get run regardless. He's a defensive liability for sure. He's so
100%.
tall. I think he's as tall as you.
Really?
Or as me. Bro, with shoes on, he's 6'1", bro.
Yeah, type shit.
I was going to say, with shoes off, Peyton Pritchard. The thing about Peyton Pritchard, though, is he can score. He can score better than Hield.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking more so, like you said, because I think 6 men of the year, like you said, are usually based off of points.
Right.
It's not really
For the audience, you guys probably don't know that,
right.
but it is. The voters.
Yeah. Last year Nas Reed won.
Right,
it,
yeah.
And I think another thing too, not saying that the Warriors are going to fall off, but I don't know if they can. They could potentially still be a top 4 in team in the West, but it's just one of the things where I think the Celtics will probably be one of the top teams in the East.
Regardless,
and I think,
yeah.
regardless. And I think they kind of look at that as well. It's like, okay,
That's true.
you could be Jordan Clarkson dropping 20 points off the bench, but your team,
Utah,
but you play for Utah and your team isn't in the playoffs. And I think with that, I feel Celtics are probably going to be 1 and 2 in the East, and Peyton Pritchard could probably still average what he is right now, and that's 15 points a game, 16 points a game. You know,
Dude, I like that take. I was hoping you'd said somebody different.
Really?
Because I mean, Hield to me, again, like let's say the Warriors do sustain it, right? Like, and they're winning. The Celtics, the Celtics are probably gonna have a better record than the Warriors, even if the Warriors are second in the West or whatever. Like the Celtics, they could be, first or second in the East behind the Cavs or something crazy, and they'll still have a better record than the Warriors. Right. So you make a great point with that. I could see it coming down to those two. Would you say like Jared McCain is a sixth man, or now like what? Because bro, he's got to be looked at, bro. Like,
yeah, for sure. And I think what he's doing right now is definitely going to help his case.
Him a lot,
let's say picture perfect situation for the Sixers. Everyone comes back and he's still playing.
Can we look this up? Has a rookie ever won sixth man?
That's a great question.
Because I was thinking about like even rookie of the year now. We were talking about it last segment, but it's like it's so up in the air. Like even Castle, bro. I think Edie went down the other day.
Ben Gordon, 04-05 season.
Nice. So it has been done before. It can be done.
It can be done.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, they could look at that as well. Because Ben Gordon, obviously, if you guys don't know, he used to get buckets on the Bulls. Like that dude was a bucket.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I did not know that. That's a good piece of history to know. Yeah. But yeah, so it is possible for a rookie to win sixth man of the year, bro. I could definitely when Maxey comes back. My worry is like, I don't know why, but like they may not play him when Maxey comes back. God knows why. But like I worry that his minutes could go down whenever for some reason, even though I feel like he's deserved. Like I don't even like necessarily love Jared McCain's game, but like his game is very high quality. Like he hits threes, bro. The thing that he does very well too is he's a very Pritchard and Hield do this well as well, but they move off the ball. So those are guys that you have to worry about anywhere on the court because they just shoot threes from anywhere. So even Pritchard will pull out from the logo, and obviously Hield will too. So it's going to be interesting. That was one that I was excited to talk to you about because I feel like that's another one that gets swept. Yeah. It's like people don't really care about it.
Yeah.
It's an important one.
It matters for sure.
Yeah, bro, for sure. I think the Pritchard pick is interesting. We'll have to see. I don't trust Mazzulla. I trust Kerr more, but Mazzulla seems like wishy-washy with his minutes sometimes.
Yeah, no,
if you can understand.
No, I know exactly what you mean, especially with, like you said, if they're blowing teams out, then he'll get run. But if they're not, then he might not even be able to touch the court. You know, so
exactly,
100%. I was thinking more so points and like as of right now, I think he would.
For sure.
You know, just situation team-wise and just they're just good, so they're going to have that record.
Fair enough.
He could still put up those points if he's getting the run. So
fair enough. No, yeah. I think, I agree. Next one, I'm going to roll into it. I was going to go with DPOY, man. See what your thoughts are. We'll pull up the odds for them. We can see, because I think, what is it, Odds Jam? Somebody has it. Covers. I know covers.com is fire. I would love that sponsor one day. They've helped me out for years, but
DPOY.
Yeah. I already know who I'm going with.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I know who I'm gonna go with. As of right now, man, crazy. We're bringing him up again. I was going through the TikTok of 3-Man Weave. Go follow us on there.
Of course.
There was a clip of us talking about. I think we were ranking the power forwards from that season, and I brought up Draymond. I think Draymond right now is probably playing. I think he could win DPOY this year.
I agree.
The way he's playing, when they went against the Mavs, they have 2 centers that are 7 foot, and he was playing 5 that game, and he was locking them down.
So the Draymond Green thing. I was actually going to ask you, but it's funny that's your first one. People with DPOY, this is another little like secret voting thing that they do. Usually, is like you got to be a top 5 defense in the NBA.
Yeah,
like you're not winning Defensive Player of the Year with. That's why I was going to talk to you about. Wemby's the favorite, but the Spurs aren't that good. Yeah, like defensively. So I don't know if that will hold. But
if he's averaging ridiculous stats, do you think they'll look past like, oh, the team's defense isn't as good, but Wemby's averaging?
Yeah, he would have to again. I mean, his averages are kind of crazy, like his stocks are crazy, but again, there's guys like Dyson Daniels. Draymond Green, Jaren Jackson. Who else is on there?
Gobert, Mobley.
Mobley. That's the
Derek
other
White.
one. Mobley. So Mobley, Green, and Jaren Jackson Jr. Those are the three that I would bet. I'm taking Jaren Jackson Jr. because I think he has the longest number. But in my opinion, I also feel like the Grizzlies. Look up the Grizzlies' defensive rating real quick. I want to say they're top 5 in the NBA.
I think they are. Yeah.
And they have so many injuries.
Yeah.
And they're guarding like this.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, the Grizzlies be guarding. They be guarding. So I saw that. I was like, I don't know why Jaren Jackson Jr.'s number is so long, but in my opinion, he doesn't have the counting stats like Wemby does. To your point, like the stocks or whatever. Where are they at?
I don't think this is it.
No, that's points allowed. So the Magic, bro. Yeah, the Magic are so good, but the Magic don't have like a player.
Yeah. Defense rating.
Let's see.
They are top 5, yeah.
Top 5.
They're 5.
They're 5th.
108.6 right now.
Yeah, you guys would never believe who's 6th.
Crazy.
Hey, it just goes to show you, if you want to guard, you can win games.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to win you games. But I'm going with Jaren Jackson. I was watching, if you guys can catch Grizzlies games right now, it's really cool. Jaw's hurt and Edie's hurt, so he kind of has to be what he was last year when Jaw was suspended, and Edie obviously hadn't been drafted yet.
Yeah.
And then Bane. I was going to ask you what you think about Bane, but he's kind of been in and out of the rotation. But watching Jaren Jackson Jr. man down the defense in Memphis has been awesome. I feel like he just always gets the short end of the stick with what he's doing. He's one of the only guys who hasn't been hurt. He's been there for most of the games the past 3 years. It kind of just seems like he's been getting the short end of the stick. But I think the NBA could be like, okay, the Grizzlies are top 5 in the league right now. Hopefully they can sustain it, especially when their guys come back, and we'll see. But that's who I'm going with right now. I just feel like, again, the Spurs are they're 12th, which is, again, middle of the pack. It's pretty good.
That's pretty good for how bad they are.
Pretty good.
But
not Grizzlies good, though.
Dude, it's crazy, too, because that would be his second one.
Yeah. No,
He's won one already.
That's the one thing that does keep me from, over the moon about it is, it's very hard to win multiple, but people do it all the time.
Yeah.
Rudy, I think he's the most recent back-to-back.
Most
recent.
Yeah.
You could look that up.
Yeah,
I know Giannis and Rudy have 2.
They do, yeah.
They have multiple, so it's possible. It's not impossible. It's been done.
Yeah.
I like DPOY too because it's one of those things I was saying, they kind of look at your team and your impact on defense. So it's it's not just, again, how many blocks or steals you get. It's more about what you're contributing to the team, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going with Jaren Jackson Jr. for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Let's see, man. I was gonna get into this is the one that I was gonna ask you about because I know my pick with this one. I was gonna get into MVP, man. But I was gonna have you pull up the PPG leaders so we can look at it.
Okay.
Because there's one guy who is dragging he's doing things that just. It ain't been done before, obviously. And, you guys kind of know who I'm going to get into. But in my opinion, I still think this player right now trumps him a little bit just because, obviously, I feel like MVP is also one of those things, too. If you guys don't know, there's, voter fatigue with that. So, you can go back-to-back. It's really hard to go back-to-back-to-back, right? It's hard to go back-to-back-to-back MVPs. I think that's only been done twice, maybe. We can look that up too. I'm not sure. In NBA history, did LeBron go back-to-back-to-back in Kareem?
Let me check.
I think LeBron has 4 MVPs. Regardless, MVP is so hard to win back-to-back. And there's a player, and his name's Nikola Jokic. You guys know who he is. He has 3 of them, right? If he gets 4, he's obviously an undisputed, probably top 10 player, and if you want to argue, he could be top 5, no doubt.
Yeah.
Just because of his stats, kind of. So yeah, okay. It's been done 3 times.
Yeah.
So LeBron didn't do it actually.
Bird, Bill Russell.
Bill Russell. Yeah. So Larry Bird was the last in the modern era to go back to back to back. I want to give it to Anthony Davis though, and I have my points on this. I wrote it down in my notes. he has been an Iron Man for the last season and a half. He's been an Iron Man. If you guys want to look at the games played, he's been playing. So that 2 years ago, maybe that's the problem, right? Oh, yeah. Anthony Davis doesn't play.
Yep.
Where is he? Last season he played. This season he playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's no longer an issue with that. He's also leading his team to, I don't want to say like a better spot than they originally would have been, because I feel like, again, like he's AD. All it was just an effort thing. But I feel like he's given his team a whole nother level to go to because he's playing at this level. Because, mind you, we got LeBron James. He's turning 40. There ain't nothing wrong with that, but he's 40. Like, he can't drag a team to the playoffs anymore. But Anthony Davis can. And he can, I would even argue, better than LeBron can right now because he has more energy. He's younger. The counting stats, again, if you look at Jokic right now, he's got more points, more rebounds, more assists. I want to say he leads the league. Well, actually, not more points, I guess, but more rebounds.
Yeah.
More assists.
Yeah, 100%.
So, like, again, if you're, player efficiency rating, I'm sure, honestly, you might even be able to scroll. Does it have PER or no? No PER?
I don't think so,
Okay.
no.
What would be... I think Jokic, again, is a more efficient player, but I would argue top 3 in efficiency right now. It's gotta be like Jokic, AD, and like, I don't know, maybe Durant, even though he got hurt. Durant was balling. I would even say like he was balling like an MVP level before he got hurt. But
yeah.
I'm just going with AD just because of where the Lakers were last year. Again, not to discredit Jokic. I just think it's going to be really hard for the voters to give him another MVP. But I will say they will definitely give him another MVP if his stats hold like this. Because what he's doing right now, man, it's just like, again, like even me explaining about AD, I'm so happy about what AD's doing. I want to get this right. So he's averaging 31 points. Let's see how many boards.
11 boards.
11 boards.
3 assists.
3 assists.
2 blocks.
Man, bro, the 30 is really in the minutes too. Just everything is going right for him, and we're obviously 9-4. So I want to say the Lakers are top 5 in the West as well. And that's another thing with MVP is like unless you're Russell Westbrook, you kind of gotta average a massive triple double on the season. You gotta win games, and the Nuggets win games. I mean, obviously the Lakers win games. So I'm going with AD, but you could say it's Jokic if you guys want to do that. But
Yeah. As of right now, it has to be Jokic, honestly. Obviously, Giannis is putting up ridiculous numbers. They're not winning, though.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get it.
Tatum is averaging really good numbers. I think what we talked about, Tatum, whole thing, I think the team is not his fault, but his team is too good.
So good, yeah.
So I feel like they're not going to hold as much weight as...
It's hard to play through just Jason Tatum.
Right.
You got Derek White and Jaylen Brown, all these guys you can play through.
Peyton Pritchard coming out.
Yeah, like the Lakers and the Nuggets don't have that.
Don't have that, yeah. So, yeah, kind of what you were saying, bro. All this shit that you were saying, for him, if we see that for one, I think people are going to be like, oh, of course, Jokic won. But, like, I don't think people like to... They need to like take a step back and realize what they're watching, because I think we're gonna be looking back at what Jokic has done. Like, man, like this is legendary.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
He had a 38 point, what was it, like 15 and 17 game, like
ridiculous
last week, and I watched the entire game. The thing that's scary about Jokic, like you're saying, is like you don't know that he has 40, 15, and 15.
No.
Like, you kind of just look up at the end of the game. You go, oh shit, he's got a massive triple.
Right, yeah.
So I agree. I mean, from accounting stats perspective, I'm more thinking like voter fatigue and where the voters are going to lean.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think they would rather give AD his first MVP than Jokic his 4th, right?
Right.
And that's kind of another thing that I have to take into account. Not to say that Jokic isn't great or that we're not obviously, I'm not gonna lie. If you can watch Nikola Jokic play basketball, do it, please. Because like CJ's saying, definitely take advantage of that. But at the end of the day, man, like what I've seen from AD on the court these last few games, it's just been. I mean, bro, he's playing through all these injuries. I think he's got like the thing with the we talked about kind of the injury report last time, but his eye, bro, like he's still dealing with that. He's just dealing with a lot right now, and he's still putting up the numbers that he's putting up. So I can't wait till he's like, not banged up, more healthy than he is right now, because JJ is really playing through him. So it's been interesting.
But no, yeah, I agree, bro. I think that's the main thing that is kind of holding me back from saying it. But I think just the numbers he's putting up, you just can't deny it,
Yeah, I think,
and they're like you said, they're not. He's carrying them. What is their? I don't know where they're at in the.
The standings?
in the standings.
They're
yeah.
fine. I think they're like top 6.
What? So let me ask you this then.
Yeah, they're 6th.
Jokic averages these crazy numbers, right?
Yeah.
AD keeps it up this whole season. If the Lakers
Are better than the Nuggets?
yeah, do you think
Yeah,
is that gonna be the deciding factor?
Bro, I still, like, in my opinion, like, even if, let's say the Lakers are the 5th seed, bro, and the Nuggets are the 3rd seed, like, I still think they could potentially give it to AD. Like, I genuinely, and another thing about it too is like you got to think like Jokic probably don't care. Like,
Yeah.
he's not looking for another. He's not
Nah.
MVP hunting. He's just kind of doing like what he's doing. I just think NBA is very narrative, like driven.
Yeah.
And they kind of think about a little bit more than just, oh, okay, well, I mean, I don't know though, because again, like Jokic is goated, bro.
Yeah.
Like what he's doing is just hasn't been done. So it would be like kind of like you're saying unfair a little bit to just be like, well, he has 3,
Right.
so we can't give him 4. You know, like,
Right,
so
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it'll come down to the wire, but that's why I want to talk about it because I feel like probably in our second episode, like we'll recap more of the games and stuff. But like even like for us to have this platform, it's like I just want to see kind of like what you're thinking, you know, throughout the season because it'll be interesting to see how it changes.
Oh,
Like,
right.
I think AD is going to win the MVP right now, but man, in 6 months, I'm sure. Something gonna change. You know what I mean?
Shay's gonna be up there, brother.
Bro, like you never know who could be up there. But yeah, bro, I just currently just the way that the Lakers are playing through him, just as an offensive hub and what he can do on defense, that's the other thing I was gonna get into, man. I'm glad we're talking about it more. But his defensive prowess and what he can bring on the defensive side, I think Jokic gets a lot of deflection because he's a high IQ player. So he gets a lot of deflections and he gets a lot of steals. He's not super athletic, so he's not going to get you a lot of blocks or anything.
Right.
He can take a charge every once in a while. He's kind of like a basketball savant. He's a little, you know, I would even argue like he's a smarter basketball player than AD is. Like, let's just keep it real. But what AD has over Jokic is the athleticism, the length, obviously, pause. Right? But just his ability, his wingspan is genuinely longer, right? So he's going to be able to block more shots. He's going to be able to alter shots too. People don't realize that's not a stat, but because of his presence, that's what Wemby's so scary, right? You think you have a layup, but you don't. So you don't even shoot the layup.
Yeah.
That's called an altered shot. Like it's not a block shot, but you're still impacting
the
yeah,
game.
yeah, like
Yeah,
an
yeah.
offensive player not wanting to shoot.
Right.
I think that's the dimension that AD has that Jokic doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think again when the thing that Jokic has though, again, the assists, the savant, like just being able to actually control, be the point center of a team is kind of crazy. AD can't do that.
Nah.
And I think AD kind of envies Jokic. Man, their playoff battles, if you guys have watched over the last 2 years, Jokic has embarrassed AD.
Ridiculous.
And so I hope this year it's ridiculous. But
Fading
I hope,
away three-pointers.
bro, like, but I just hope this year if we do face the Nuggets again, I'm sure we might lose, whatever. But AD's got to give more. And I know he can give more, and I know he can give Jokic a run for his money. Like, Jokic is good, bro, but he's not beating you up good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just the defensive aspect of his game, I think, adds a lot to his case. And I think it will add a lot to his case down the line, especially if he's, again, the game's played. What are you guys going to say? He's not playing games? Because he is now.
He is.
If we add AD in there, like, ooh.
Yeah.
He could definitely make first-team All-NBA, though. Now this positionless, maybe. But I think him and Jokic will get those spots. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think for me, I agree with you 100%. What you said about AD, I think the thing with him is the success of his team.
Yeah, bro, the Lakers.
Yeah,
That's what it's
so-
going to come down to, bro,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Because, you know, it's crazy. Like last week, I was worried about us. Right now, I'm feeling good. And that's the thing with the Lakers. Like, it's just, I'm worried, I feel good, and I'm worried, and I feel good. It's just like, dang, man, I just wish we were like an even-keeled team. Kind of like the Thunder are, man.
Right.
Just very consistent. You know what you're going to get every night. With the Lakers, it's a surprise, which is a good and bad thing, right? Like, sometimes I'm surprised negatively.
Yeah. Like, why are we playing so bad right now?
Yeah,
no, I
bro.
feel you, I
Like,
feel
or
you.
why are we play down a lot? So
Yeah, right.
We lost to the Pistons again on our losing streak. We lost to the Pistons. Some like not to say the Pistons aren't, you know, they're not as bad as they were last year. Again, they're still a competitive team.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't be beating the Lakers, especially, you know, when AD's healthy, right? Like, come on, man. And yeah. But yeah, that's kind of my take on the MVP right now. Just wanted to kind of, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. The season flying by. We're almost 20 games in.
Right.
That's a quarter of the way. So I figured, you know, why not talk about it?
Right. I got
You know
you.
what I'm saying?
What about Rookie of the Year? Is your
That's changed a little bit just because I think Edie got hurt. A couple people have I mean, obviously a couple people started to hoop, right? Jared McCain, obviously, you know, Stephon Castle, obviously. But I mean, right now I'm still going to have to rock with Edie, you know. I feel like he was still the most impactful rookie who's been the most consistent. But right now, who's been hooping the most, that's a different question, obviously. Right. But, I mean, that's going to be one of those things where I feel like that award is going to come down to the end of the season. Like, we're not going to know who the rookie of the year is. And even Dalton Connect, bro. Right. He's in the mix.
He's been hooping, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's what y'all needed.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
You know, 18. I'm like,
right,
okay,
right.
Yeah, let's go, bro.
Heck yeah.
So, yeah, bro, you know what it is, man. But yeah, I mean, okay, y'all want to hear me say Jared McCain, so I'll say Jared McCain. But in my eyes, I just feel like, again, Edie's been more impactful for longer. But we'll see. He went down. I'm sure in a week it'll change, right? Yeah. Like, but that's one of those ones where it's kind of interchangeable. It's like less finite. I feel like even 6th man of the year, like you gonna kind of know who's in the mix for that. Yeah. But rookie of the year is just such a toss up this year because the class is so. I feel like it's underrated. I'm gonna stop calling it trash. I feel like it's underrated. So like maybe there's some players that haven't blossomed yet. I mean, even Donovan Clingan, bro. Like he was hooping.
He was hooping.
Him and Rob, the Time Lord, dang. The Time Lord, bro. Him and Rob Will, you know, they were hooping. They had like dual 20s the other night. And Portland's been fun to watch too. I hope Scoot figures it out, but
me too.
Until then, can't really talk about him much because he hasn't been doing too much, but. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Edie still. What about you, bro?
I think I'm going to hop on the bandwagon, brother.
You gonna go with McCain?
I think I'm going to go with McCain. I talked about him a little bit before.
I'd rather you go with Castle, bro.
Nah, I brought his name up. Even when we were talking about Edie.
Because
I just think he is in a good situation.
Yeah,
like,
just he's in a perfect situation.
The health of that
What do you think what's going to happen when Maxey come back, though? Because Edie got minutes for sure.
Yeah, Edie is going to get the minutes regardless because he's the starting center. Yeah. I think that's the top. Problem, right, that is the problem, but...
I don't know. I mean, the way he's playing, bro.
You're going to have to play him, bro.
Right?
And that's where I'm like...
You have to, right?
Yeah.
For
Especially
sure.
He's kind of like put that team on his back, essentially.
Bro,
and he's a rookie.
Yeah. Like, I think Maxey was on the mic the other day, man. Clip it for sure. But he saw him dunk. He was like, whoa. I wasn't expecting that. Like, yeah, Jared McCain is out here, you know, basically replacing Maxey's production.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, he's helped. I mean, I want to say Philly they won 1 or 2, or they won 1 with them. But
yeah.
They're
2-10, geez.
So that's also another thing, too. So, rookie of the year, it
doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter what your record is. That's another important thing, too, to bring up. It's like they're focused more, again, on accounting stats.
Yeah, accounting stats,
like your career arc, what you're going to be. So, yeah, I mean.
Well, yeah, even going back to the rookie year race last year, Chet had the better team, this and that, but Wemby had the crazy stats.
Right.
So it's like they gave it to Wemby, you know?
Exactly.
And I think, not saying that the Sixers are going to be trash for the whole season, but I think if Jared McCain gets the minutes, he's going to put up the points.
The counting stats,
at least the points, you know what I mean?
I agree, bro.
So if he can average 20, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, that's 6th man of the year and rookie of the year type of conversations.
That would be a crazy sweep if he was able to get that, man.
I do want to kind of like talk into Jared McCain off the court a little bit. His antics and being TikTok famous, painting his nails. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, I know Caleb Williams is like that as well. Like,
bro, I think, I mean, me and you kind of, I'm sure we have the same outlook, but just be you.
Yeah.
You know, if that's really you.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. In my opinion, I've always kind of thought it was corny how like people kind of like hate on that. Because to me, it kind of shows your character, right? Like, why do you care about that? Like, if that's something you don't like, why are you worried about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't like somebody painting their nails, then just don't care about somebody painting their nails, right? Like, you don't have to be mean to them because if they want to do it, they want to do it. And your opinion is not going to change that. To me, though, just to answer your question, it's just, I don't love it. I like to focus on basketball, but that's just me. But if he wants to, focus on TikTok, focus on building other things outside of his career, bro, more power to him. Like, he's an NBA player. He's got to use his platform. Like, who are we to speak on that and be like, oh, he can't be doing this, whatever, that bothers me, yada, yada, yada. I think from like NBA player perspective, they might get bothered like, oh, how is this a part of your routine, whatever. But he's made it there doing something, right? So, why fix it if it's not broken? You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's something like you really do and that's who you really are, and hey, just be you, man. Yeah. What about you, bro? What you think?
Well said, brother. That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
I feel like it shouldn't. Of course, like you look at it and be like, okay, like that's I wouldn't do
Yeah.
that, or I wouldn't.
Right.
You know,
I was saying like I would take it. You
yeah,
know?
right. But like, if you're just looking at what they produce on the court or the field or whatever it is, like, what does it matter? You know what I mean? They're putting
Right.
up the numbers. They're getting your team wins, like whatever it may be.
Exactly.
It's like, go out there, be yourself, man. And I
Yeah.
think that's
He's hooping.
our generation and younger. You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
kind of they've tapped in more to that. I feel
Right.
like people, I'm not saying that that's all they cared about, but like
Yeah, we're not gonna judge.
we're more like focus on it, like, oh no, I gotta be like this, I gotta carry myself
A certain way,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like, bro, be yourself. Even when, you know, LaMelo getting the fine
Yeah,
and all
bro.
that, like,
Yeah.
of course it you know,
We haven't
whatever
talked
it
about
may
him,
be,
but-
in the, you know, just the way our society is nowadays, but you have to
You
kind
can't
of
say certain things. You have to
but
filter yourself.
I kind of like it. Even
Code switch and stuff.
Ant, you know what I mean? Like, just the way he is. People saying like he's not media trained and this
Yeah,
and that.
like he's
It's like,
flicking off people and stuff.
Right.
I can see how that can bother some people, but you also have to remember, like, these guys are young men. Like,
Right.
they're growing just like, you know, your kid would. You know, they're not much older than, you know, whatever. Like, they're just getting out of college. You know what I'm saying? So they're still learning the way that they want to carry themselves. And I'm even sure in 20 years, right, LaMelo or Ant might even talk about, you know, some of the stuff I was saying when I
Right.
was like,
I was
that was
just
stupid.
immature,
Yeah,
you know,
just
still
stupid.
growing. Yeah.
Yeah, like that don't mean they're bad people. Yeah, bro.
No,
I think,
not at all.
I think it starts to get bad because I've seen a lot of that shit too, where they start like people start, oh, this dude's a bad person, or like Ant's not a good person,
Right.
Because like you see him doing that,
Right.
But it's like there's a lot of things that go, or LaMelo's not a good person because you see the way that he talks, like. I'm sure he talks like worse than that with his
Right.
homies, right?
For
like,
sure.
yeah, and that's fine if you think that way. But me and you, like, that doesn't impact the type of person that you are.
Right.
Like again, I'm sure he's very charitable. He helps anybody he sees. I'm sure he would sign your shoes if you saw. Like, I'm sure he's a great dude.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of, you know, I've always kind of been bothered, especially with media, because we're kind of that, right?
Right.
Like, I think in media too. People just judge and they don't really know. And I feel like luckily, bro, whenever we get into those rooms, like we're not gonna really struggle because I feel like we're very genuine. So
Right.
if we don't like somebody, that'll come off. Or if we like somebody, that'll come off. So
Right,
like
right.
I'm not too worried about it for us. But from like a media perspective, I just feel like very judgmental. Like even with the stuff with Embiid, right? Like why are you even bringing up somebody's family, fam? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or their character or whatever, like
Right.
attacking their character. We're just here to critique their hoops. You know, not them as men, right? Or like that's something like you got to go outside for, right? Like if you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
that don't have anything to do with basketball,
Right,
So
right.
like the Jared McCain shit, like that don't have anything to do with basketball. So we not really gonna pay too much mind to that, 'cause
Right,
he's
right.
hooping,
Right, exactly.
and that's what matters.
I just want to see what you thought.
Yeah,
I
bro.
assume so, but you know,
Especially
I've seen a lot of people, especially on Twitter, like,
especially on X, bro.
can't believe like,
Especially on X.
y'all let this person drop 30 on your team or this
Yeah,
and that. It's
fam.
like, bro, just let him be him, bro. Let him express himself. I think that's what people forget. This is a kid's game, and they've been playing it their whole lives. They just happen to be good at it.
Yeah, bro. Like and like we were just saying, like it's a kid's game, you know, and the majority of these people are still young and growing, and their minds are still developing. They're still becoming who they really are. So we just got to be mindful of that. Like,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's kind of my take on that. But you know, hopefully you guys can agree with us and kind of understand that it's just deeper than basketball.
Right.
But yeah, man, you got anything else?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up. Just a quick little trivia for you, ZD.
right.
As you know, the Cavs are 15-0. They are the. I looked it up. Sorry,
Shit's crazy that they
let me look
are,
it up,
but-
sorry.
I don't even know how they're 15-0, fam.
Okay, sorry. Don't look.
I'm not looking.
There has been 4 teams, including 2024 Cavs, that have gone 15-0. Do you know the other 3
To start the season,
to start the season 15-0?
jeez Louise, bro. 73-9 Dubs.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
2016 Golden State. Yeah,
2016
for sure.
Golden State.
These other ones,
they're hard. I'm
hard.
sure. Milwaukee Bucks.
No.
70,
Nah.
2, 3. Okay. Let's see some other great teams.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, great teams. I'm trying to think of
One of these you could get. I don't think. I don't even know about this next one.
2014 Heat.
A little later, 90s.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, my fault. Earlier. Sorry.
Earlier.
Yeah, my fault.
90s Heat. Interesting. 90s and the 90s and the 90s. Bulls?
Who was the other team that was doing good in the 90s?
The Magic? The
winning
Bulls.
chips.
Oh, the Rockets.
Rockets.
the
1994 Houston Rockets.
Damn, they started 15-0.
15-0. And
Okay,
then
this last one's probably
yeah, I was gonna say, do you just want me to? You want to guess or?
I'll guess.
This was in the
50s,
40s,
40s?
late 40s
Damn, so we're talking like Minneapolis Lakers
type shit.
Yeah. Oh damn! What are the teams' names? Because I'm trying to remember what they were all called. Because it's so cool if you guys do the research on NBA teams. Like they like like Minneapolis Lakers. Like
Right,
it's not
right.
always the
It's
same
not, yeah.
shit. Like even with the Sixers and stuff, it's
Yeah.
like different. I'm trying to think of the team names because who's a great team in the 40s, man? The Celtics.
Nah, you would think, huh?
Yeah. Is this ABA still?
I
think
it might be
merger.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, I think it was before the merger. Yeah,
Holy.
that's what I was saying.
Oh, I don't think I'm gonna get this. Wait, New Jersey team maybe. Okay. Go ahead. Tell me.
1949 Washington Capitals.
The Capitals, bro. Oh gosh, bro.
Crazy.
They got the hockey name, huh? Yeah.
that's crazy.
Man.
So yeah, quick little trivia. I just because of course that hasn't happened a lot. So
And that's like the hottest topic of the NBA right now, man.
Right.
These Cavs just don't want to lose. Shout out 30, but Cleveland, Cleveland, stand up, bro.
Stand up.
Where are the Cleveland fans? Because this is your time to get active.
Talk
for
that
sure.
shit, man.
For sure. But yeah, man.
Other huge
gonna
news.
say.
Had to bring it up. James Harden just moved up to the second
gonna
in
say.
all 3-pointers made of all time. Shout out to the beard, bro. Oh man, he gets
Yeah.
so much hate that I just don't think he deserves. Of course, doesn't play his defense, this and that, but I think people looking back at his legacy and his career are probably appreciate him a lot more whenever he's done and retired because what he has done for the game and the heliocentric offense and that's kind of what the Mavs are doing right now with Luka. You know what I mean?
Like
So-
CJ saying, like, for him to be second, it kind of goes to show you, like, just you can't catch Curry. So
Oh, yeah,
second is the new first, basically, with the threes.
Yeah, he even said
So-
that.
Yeah. What did he say? I
He,
forgot the
I think
clip.
it was like a reporter or something. They were like shoot around like, "Hey, you're about to move up to second all time. Like, how do you feel?" He's like, "In my eyes, I'm number one."
Oh, right, yeah, because he said, like, Curry could shoot the shit out of the ball. or
Yeah.
whatever, yeah. No, dude, shout out James Harden. I forgot about that, but didn't. Like, that was running through my head.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I just had to bring it up.
Yeah,
you
bro.
know?
I mean, it's funny. I was gonna ask you. It's funny that you brought that up because the one last thing that I was gonna talk to you about, these records, man. Like, they're gonna fall soon, most likely. Every three that Curry hits is a new one, right? So then, obviously, LeBron's got the 40K.
Yep.
Let's see, like, what other. There's a couple triple double records that are gonna fall soon. Like Jokic is kind of catching. It's crazy that him and Westbrook play on the same team.
And they like make up
Yeah,
like
they
10%.
they make up of like 10% of the triple doubles in the
in the NBA, yeah, of all time. Crazy.
I'm sure there's hella respect between
Yeah.
those guys. Oh, I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about the legends whose records are starting to fall? Like, how do you think Ray Allen feels, or Reggie Miller, right? Like,
Yeah. Or even when Kareem
Kareem,
lost his
right?
first.
Like, how do you think that's gonna feel? You know, to kind of. I'm assuming you thought you were gonna have that for a lot longer, probably when you were dead.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy to see
Like that.
that shit's not.
Nah, yeah.
It ain't holding.
It's crazy because I mean, obviously, I've never set a record. I've never done this, so I
Right,
wouldn't know
right.
how it would feel. But
Shit, not
for
yet.
me, not yet. As
gonna set a view record
as
soon.
a man and someone that like probably understands what it took for me to get to that point. I would be like, damn, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
respect,
Like, I respect
yeah.
it. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like, I
Yeah,
don't know. I
facts.
wouldn't be too.
I was gonna
like,
say NBA's really about that.
You know
Like,
what I
they
mean?
They kind of pass it down.
Yeah.
None of them are like salty.
Yeah, and I feel like that's I don't know. Like records are made to be broken,
So
essentially.
that's your take on it. You
Right.
think records are made to be?
100%.
You know what's funny? So there's actually the Curry, in my opinion, in our lifetime, there's a couple that won't maybe, and I think like the LeBron scoring record may be.
Yeah, I
For
don't
our
know.
life, and the Curry 3-pointers, man. Like, think about how many years Curry still has, and like I said, every three he hits is the new record.
Mm-hmm.
So
Shit, even Braun, bro.
Yeah, even Braun.
Yeah, like
he's on the list too.
Right.
Yeah,
Every bucket he scores is a record.
New record. Right. Yeah.
So
that's a good point too. I didn't even think about it like that. You're so right. Like every bucket that LeBron has, not only is a new record, but it also just pushes the 40K. Like he has 40,000, but now he has more. So it'll be the first to 41, first to 42. Like, and it's kind of crazy to see that because I feel like genuinely some of those records may not fall in our lifetime.
do you think LeBron's record will fall?
Scoring?
Yeah. I mean, it's a
ever probably.
I mean, yeah, of course, but like in our lifetime at least.
No, because you got to start at 18,
right,
and then score 20.
Unless you're coming in the league at 19, hitting more threes.
Or I was gonna say hitting. You either have to do that or score 40
every.
From like, and that's really hard.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Because like what he did was like he did the 20, but it's for 22 years. You could score 40 for 10, 40,000.
Yeah.
So like
that's like some Wilt numbers.
Like if you don't want to do it for 25 years, you have to score more points. I think the closest person who's he's in the league right now. It's kind of crazy. Who like isn't even gonna really get there, but could kind of like he's close. But I think Luka could. Luka, if he like, I don't think Luka though is gonna be getting 30 and like at LeBron's age. Like I don't even think Luka's gonna get 25 at LeBron's age. So I don't know because you have to still be getting 23 a game at 40.
At 40, yeah.
So it's like.
It's the like I think I brought it up too before. Like LeBron, him setting this record says more about his longevity as well.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like that's what the points it really comes down to. Because of course, you know, you can score 40 for 5 seasons, let's say, but that's only a half a decade.
I also think with the 3-pointers, man, I think Durant could pass Harden one day.
You think so?
Yeah, but. Again, he would have to play a little bit longer because Harden, like they've been in the league relatively the same. And Durant is also one of the players, though, that like with age, he continues to say 30, 28.
Yeah. He is
28, 30. Like he's not, 22 point. Like KD's probably, bro, Kevin Durant's probably the best scorer ever, bro.
Right. I agree.
Like in terms of like pure scoring, bro, not points per, like just go out there, give me a bucket.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's KD.
Get to it, man.
We're going to see. It's an interesting thing that you brought the Harden thing up because it made me think, like, damn, even Harden record, it should fall. Like, in our lifetime. Like, I think somebody will get there.
Yeah.
And, like, the Curry record is just going to be so crazy. So, I don't know, man. We'll have to see.
Yeah. That's the. I just had to bring that up, man. Shout out to James Harden. Appreciate greatness while y'all can, man. We're witnessing the two on paper greatest 3-point shooters of all time.
We're going into transition phase with the NBA where these older stars are starting to, phase out.
Right.
And it's coming into the new age of everything. So we're gonna see, man.
Yeah, that was another episode of 3-Man Weave. We don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Man, peace.
Thunder up, baby.
Hey, like
3-Man.